Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, 2 local women have been indicted in connection to an ongoing juvenile human trafficking investigation. Tennessee legislators are considering removing sales tax exemptions for newspapers and magazines. State Representative Judd Matheny will talk about legislation he sponsored in Tennessee House, which should be of great help to the walking horse industry. And Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell will talk about the police department's authority to seize vehicles. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
If you're in the market for a new vehicle, Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac is worth the short drive for savings that can't be beat. Take home this 2015 Chevy Equinox, 0 down, just $299 a month. Or how about this 2015 Chevy Silverado Double Cab, 0 down, just $369 a month. And as always, we will match or beat any dealer's price. So come check us out or visit us online at stanmcnabb.com. But please don't forget, when it comes to the best deals, if anyone can, Stan can.
Time to get fit, Tullahoma, and register today for the I Am for the Child Family 5K Run and Walk. You'll be proud to know you're supporting the Children's Court-Appointed Special Advocate, or CASA, while running or walking Saturday, April 9th at Fraser McEwen Park at 8 a.m. Pre-register at active.com for $25 or starting at 6:30 a.m. the day of the race. Special thanks to these sponsors: Chick-fil-A, Light Tea, City of Tullahoma. Click on active.com and register for the CASA 5K Family Fun Run and Walk.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. Special agents from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation have obtained indictments for 3 individuals in connection to an ongoing juvenile human trafficking investigation. After receiving information from the Tennessee Department of Children's Services, TBI agents opened a case on July the 8th, 2015, marking the first case initiated under a change in state law giving TBI original jurisdiction to investigate allegations of human trafficking in Tennessee. During the course of the investigation, agents developed information that Cassidy Hill, Christopher Hill, and Amy Farrell participated in an effort to, over several months, to traffic a 17-year-old for the purpose of commercial sex at various locations. That was various locations in Montgomery County.
On March 7th of this year, the Montgomery County Grand Jury returned indictments charging Cassidy Hill, age 25, of Tullahoma, and her husband, Christopher Hill, age 32, of Nashville, with 8 counts of each trafficking for commercial sex acts and 2 counts each of money laundering. The grand jury also returned an indictment charging Amy Farrell, age 24, of Shelbyville, with 1 count of trafficking for commercial sex acts. This week, authorities notified all 3 individuals of their new charges at 2 local jails, where they remain incarcerated on unrelated charges. All will subsequently be booked at the Montgomery County Jail at a later date.
Tennessee lawmakers are considering legislation that would lift the sales tax exemption on newspapers and magazines. This, as many organizations are struggling to stay afloat in the face of internet competition. Chattanooga Republican Senator Todd Gardenshire says imposing a sales tax on newspapers and magazines would raise an estimated $15 million in new revenue for state and local governments. A spokesman for the Tennessee Press Association says any tax would likely be passed on to consumers in the form of higher newsstand prices and subscription rates. The proposed bill would also apply sales tax on advertisements in publications. The Press Association said it opposes the idea because it would penalize many smaller publications.
As the 2016 presidential campaign heats up, many candidates will be soliciting Tennesseans for their financial support. The Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance's Division of Consumer Affairs warns consumers of scammers fraudulently soliciting political campaign donations during this presidential election year. TDCI Deputy Commissioner Bill Gianni said, quote, Scammers only care about stealing your money, not which political party you may support. Before donating your hard-earned money, first do your research and make sure you're actually giving your contribution to your candidate, end quote.
During federal, state, and local election campaigns, scammers often use caller ID spoofing to pose as representatives from political parties or election committees. Because political groups are excluded from the provisions of the National Do Not Call Registry, scammers can more easily manipulate victims into offering donations. To help protect consumers, the Division of Consumer Affairs advises against giving donations over the phone or via wire transfer. Instead, consumers should contact the campaign or election office directly to offer donations. Political campaigns can be reached through the Tennessee Bureau of Ethics and Campaign Finance.
The Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation Mobile Household Hazardous Waste Collection Service will be in Bedford County this Saturday, March 19th. Any Tennessean resident may bring his or her household hazardous waste to Big Springs parking lot at 108 Lane Parkway in Shelbyville from 8 a.m. until noon. Household hazardous waste material is considered flammable, toxic, reactive, and/or corrosive and should not be placed with regular garbage. Typical items to dispose include cleaning fluids, pesticides, mercury thermometers and thermostats, fluorescent lamps, lithium and button batteries, aerosols, adhesives, medication, brake fluid, swimming pool chemicals, and paint thinner. Items not accepted include ammunition, explosives, alkaline batteries, paint, electronics, medical waste, and any empty containers. For more information, contact Diane Forbes at 931-684-4651. Since the program's inception in 1993, more than 322,000 households have properly disposed of more than 21 million pounds of hazardous material.
Stay with us. We'll be right back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
The wait is finally over. The 2015 50th anniversary Ford Mustang is finally here. This is one awesome vehicle. Let me give you a few stats on this V8 Mustang. 435 horsepower, independent rear suspension, 25 miles per gallon, and this is the one you've been waiting for. 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. Don't blink an eye or you'll miss it. Come by Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester and check it out. The 2015 Mustang, the all-new redesign, will leave you speechless.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. People who own or train Tennessee walking horses will now be able to video the inspection of their horses prior to showing them. After the Tennessee legislature passed a new law recently, State Representative Judd Matheny, who carried the bill in the Tennessee House of Representatives, was a guest on the What a Horse show last week and explained why he introduced the legislation and how it will affect those impacted by it. Tell them what the video bill does, though, first.
Well, it gives us the ability to video the inspections when the USDA or show or anybody else inspects our horse. It doesn't give us the ability to interfere, but it does give us the ability that we can, the owner or an agent can video the inspections, which we've had many problems with. And before we show some of that video, I'm going to let you tell them the good part.
Well, absolutely. Let me give a little bit of background on it's House Bill 2189 is the bill we're discussing, and today, March the 7th, it'll be on the House floor tonight. It's number 4 on the calendar, and I'm confident of its passage. It should pass unanimous. We may always have a holdout or two, but it's going to pass with an overwhelming majority, I'm sure. It passed the state Senate. My colleague Jim Tracy passed it in the state Senate about a week ago. Senator Jim Tracy did a great job. It did pass unanimous there, 29-0. And what this bill basically does, and Jerry, I'm proud to have the opportunity to carry this bill. For 5 years now, you and I voiced our frustration over the USDA being quite onerous to our trainers and breeders. And it's been very difficult on the state level to do anything to protect our interests, and this is a huge step in that process. What House Bill 2189 does, it's very simple. It just allows anybody, and this is a unique bill in several areas. It's been a kind of a bridge builder, and I'll explain that in a minute. But what House Bill 2189 does is it allows anybody that is having an animal of any kind. In this case, we're mainly talking about the walking horse, but it allows anybody that has an animal that is being inspected by any government agency, whether it be state or federal, for any purpose, to have that inspection videoed by the owner or their agent. We put agent language in there just in case it's an adversarial situation. Somebody could designate, or if a breeder or trainer can't be there, they can designate somebody to actually perform the inspection. And in the legislative record, we put the intent of the bill is that the person making the video should be kept no more than a reasonable distance away. We would say a reasonable distance would be outside of the immediate vicinity of injury from an animal, perhaps if it kicked or so 8 to 10 feet would be a reasonable distance. But the bottom line is the USDA, the Tennessee Department of Agriculture, no government or quasi-government agency could ban you or sit you to a relegated filming area that's unreasonably distant from your animal. And we want to do this to be able to protect the integrity of the Walking Horse Association, to be able to protect folks' investment, and for the safety of the animal. And also to be able to keep the federal government in check. Not all inspectors from the federal government have been adversarial, but many have, too many have. It's damaged the industry. Myself and Senator Tracy, along with you, have been able to hopefully to remedy that just a little bit. Now, when I talk about it kind of being a bridge builder, Tennessee Farm Bureau jumped on board with this and was very enthusiastic about its passage. They're huge friends of mine, 650,000 members across the state, very strong, probably the strongest lobbying organization in the state. They don't endorse things lightly, especially if something's going to pass anyway. They usually sit out, but they understand that this has been a big problem in Tennessee. They also understand that although this bill, and I've served on the Agriculture Committee in the past, I'm very familiar with how the Agriculture Committee in the House and also the Farm Bureau and other advocacy organizations, we like to keep a clear line between domestic and agricultural animals. Usually laws don't merge that deal with both of them because they are totally separate entities. One is for recreation and a family member, and other is generally for food and competition, although horses are family members also. We have 3. But they're definitely family members. But this bill blurs that line and deals with both domestic and agricultural animals, and everybody was fine with that. Normally we have to delineate that. But folks have understood that this is a great consumer protection bill. It's a great bill for the citizens of Tennessee. And I would even say that PETA and the Humane Society of Tennessee have supported this bill. And they stopped me in the hallway last week and said we've got no reason to oppose it. It's a good bill. Doesn't do anything to inhibit the mission of those seeking to protect the animals, and does nothing but embolden the citizens' ability to be able to protect their animals. And so the bill will pass tonight. I'm ultimately certain of that. The governor will have 10 days to sign it, so hopefully by the 17th to 19th of March, when you have a trainer show in Shelbyville, we'll have a copy of that law in our pocket if anybody gets out of hand.
More Newsleader on 6 is coming up after these messages.
I'm Philip Bourne, McNabb Detail Shop Manager. Here are a few things our customers have to say about our service.
What I love most about the McNabb Detail Shop is there's someone local that I can trust to pick up my car, have it cleaned, and deliver it back to me in showroom condition.
What really amazed me is when he opened the hood and looked like he had taken the old engine out and put a new engine inside.
We have several different packages and individual services to get your vehicle looking like new again. We're located just behind McNabb Chevrolet dealership. Call today, schedule an appointment, and see what a difference our detail can make.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gotta be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. The City of Tullahoma and Buffalo Wild Wings is teaming up for a fundraiser to raise money for the new animal shelter. John Gray spoke with Winston Brooks and Jordan Hensley about the event.
And we have a really exciting announcement. We've teamed up together for a fundraiser.
All right.
Yeah, they have a program called Eat Wings, Raise Funds, and she's going to tell us about that. And our fundraiser is going to be Wednesday, March 23rd. And guess what we're raising funds for?
Dog shelter.
And brand new animal shelter, that's right. And you can see the picture of it there in front of you. And this is going to be a great animal shelter. The one that we've got currently is 40 years old and is completely depreciated. This new shelter is going to have, every run is going to be completely covered. It's going to have 36 main runs that can be separated in two, so you can house 72 dogs down there. And so a lot of times we're at overcapacity currently down there. But
we're a no-kill zone, right?
And we're a no-kill shelter.
There you go.
So that means any dog that comes in, the condition that dog is in, if it needs medical attention right away, it gets vet care, and then they keep it until they can get it adopted out. And they do a great job adopting the dogs out too, and they offer low-cost spay and neutering, and it's only about $15 when you adopt a dog there, and that includes all the shots and getting the chip in the back. And so they just do a really great job.
Yeah.
But the fundraiser, again, like I said, is going to be Wednesday, March 23rd. And the way that works, it starts at 11 a.m. at the restaurant. And there are tickets floating around out there that look like this. So you'll want to present this ticket to your server. And you can present it on your mobile device, which is probably what I would recommend. And you can go to our website, tullahomatn.gov, or facebook.com/tullahomatn, and it's right there at the top of the page, and you'll just show that to your server. And 10% of the proceeds from that day's wing sales will go help build a new shelter for our dogs.
That's great.
Isn't that great?
That's great.
It's because of Buffalo Wild Wings and their commitment to the community.
And you, young lady, are a Tullahoma girl originally, or your family was?
Yes, sir.
Give us a little history on you.
Well, my family is from here. My grandparents and my mom and dad, they grew up here, and I moved back here from Atlanta in 2005 and graduated Tullahoma in 2007, and have since then found a home at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Well, good for you. And what's your position there?
I am a guest experience captain, and basically I do fundraising events. I coordinate with the community, and we do a lot of work with the chamber as well.
Good.
So yeah, it's fun.
And that's why this is such a great partnership, is because now you can feed yourself and help feed the dogs.
Feed yourself and feed the dogs.
Get some Buffalo Wild Wings. What's your favorite sauce?
Mango habanero is my favorite. I like spicy, so it's a little extreme for some people.
And you were talking about March Madness coming up, and
yes,
that place is covered in big screen TVs.
It is 47.
And you can probably watch any game you want to watch right there.
We have 47 TVs and 13 satellites, so we're going to have a lot of basketball on here soon.
A lot of basketball, I would say so. Well, we're just so glad that you've come back to our community and are finding fun and the way you're helping out with the community. We appreciate that very much. You're a lovely young lady, and welcome home.
Thank you, thank you. It's a passion of mine, actually, that help animals. So whenever Winston approached me about doing an Eat Wings Raise Funds, I was all about it, for sure. I was like, we can do that, that's what we do. And we do Eat Wings Raise Funds for many, many organizations.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate that.
It's really easy to work with.
Stay with us. There's more Newsleader to come right after this.
Hi, this is John Gray again, reporting from Bailey Manor, where the girls have been into the city to shop for the Great Gatsby Gala at South Jackson Civic Center.
Hey ladies, come in the parlor.
Look, you look
I want to
so
see what you have. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at you. You'll look fabulous.
It's only a few weeks away. I am so excited. I have heard the Gatsby Mansion is so amazing.
I still can't believe that Jay Gatsby invited us to his party. What an honor.
I know. Remember, it's
March 19th
at his South Jackson Street mansion.
You know what I heard, ladies? I heard that he's actually going to be there. He is so handsome. And you know what? I'm just dying to meet him. Well, I heard that he has a special love interest. I wonder who it is.
You haven't heard? He is obsessed with Daisy Buchanan.
No, really?
Yes, and she's gonna be there. It's gonna be the event of the year.
So, what's going to happen if her husband Tom shows up?
Fireworks!
That's the South Jackson Civic Center Great Gatsby Gala, March 19th. The Gatsby girls will be there. How about you?
Welcome back. Jim spoke with Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell earlier this week about the police department's authority to seize vehicles.
So, do you have cars in your fleet that you've confiscated through some?
We have on occasion. If we confiscate them for drugs, we can use them. If we confiscate them for DUI, we can use them. But when there's some, how do we dispose of them is kind of the different part of it.
Oh, there's rules for that.
There's rules on how we can dispose of it.
Right.
If it's a DUI seizure, we can sell the car, and then we put the money into our drug fund, which is where we can buy additional equipment, things of that nature.
Right.
If it's a DUI seizure, we have to put that into the general fund, the black hole, so to speak. And so we don't get to use it. So we would much rather seize and sell a drug-related vehicle, so that we can put that money back and put it into use.
So if you seize the vehicle, do you have the option of keeping it if it's a good vehicle and using it for?
Yes.
I've often wondered about the school resource officer's vehicle, which is a little different. Is that a drug seizure?
The current one isn't, but I think the one previous to this one was a Land Rover that was a drug seizure, and we converted it to our use, and we even got a decal that put on it, a confiscated vehicle, compliments of your local drug dealer, and it went over. It was a nice vehicle, but at one point we figured we could probably sell it and make a little bit more money than what we would get from using it for that purpose, so we sold that. We have had on occasion vehicles that we've seized that we've kept parked somewhere away so people don't see them, and then we can use them in an undercover setting.
You mentioned a DUI seizure. So what are the circumstances that permit you to seize a vehicle in a DUI?
Multiple DUIs. First time DUI, we can't seize it. But if you've had multiple DUIs within a certain period, that vehicle is subject to being seized. So we have to do all this paperwork, and we have to go before a judge to get a seizure warrant, and a lot of process involved in it.
Of course, I guess there's some issues about it. Does the vehicle have a loan on it or something like that? Do you have to clear that?
Again, we have to find out if there's a lien on it. If the amount is very little, and it's a good car, we can elect to seize it and pay the lien off. Because we think we can get more out of it in the sale. But what we oftentimes do is, if there's a lien on it, usually can't get much out of the vehicle to satisfy the lien. So what we then, we'll give the vehicle back, but they have to pay the wrecker fee, the storage fees, and that could amount to quite a bit of money.
But it's at your discretion.
It's out at that point.
Okay.
On any of them, it's our discretion if we want to try to proceed with the seizure process.
I'm guessing maybe a drug-related issue, probably a lot of them are bought and paid for, or they're not with cash.
Generally, yeah, you usually don't find too many of them that have a lien against them. And yeah, unless it's a really nice vehicle, a lot of them are older cars, and really we don't get a whole lot out of them.
Right.
But you know, if we can get enough to cover the wrecker fee, the storage fees, and then a little bit of money to put back into our account, then it's worthwhile.
Oh, okay. All right. Some inside information there.
Well, there's a lot of it. There's a lot that goes on, a lot of paperwork, a lot of procedures that have to be followed. But the end result is trying to, just like when we stripe these cars, a good portion of the money that came from our drug fund. So it wasn't taxpayer dollars that did it.
Right.
It was money that we were willing to take from our drug fund to help pay for this restriping.
The pet of the week this week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter is a playful beagle mix named Debo. He entered the shelter as a stray and is approximately 2 years old. Debo gets along well with other dogs and children. He has had some of his vaccinations and will receive a free neuter provided by the Tullahoma Animal Shelter. Be sure to check out the Tullahoma Shelter on Facebook for upcoming events and fundraisers. Remember, you can help support your local shelter by adopting, donating, or volunteering. For more details, contact Teresa at 454-9580. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
The Coffee County Humane Society featured pet this week is Nugget. Nugget is a Beagle Lab mix who has been at the shelter a long time and needs a forever home. The shelter also has many other dogs available for adoption at 1210 Oakdale Street in Manchester. Hours of operation at the shelter are 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The shelter's phone number is 723-2730. Donations for animal care can be made at the Coffee County Humane Society at P.O. Box 252 in Manchester. The website is www.coffeehumane.org.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
The Kia Summers on Us sales event is going on right now at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. Let me tell you about this event. Purchase a new Kia Sedona, Kia Optima, Kia Forte and receive 0% financing up to 66 months and your first 3 payments for free. For a limited time only, no strings attached. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. The Kia Summers on Us sales event going on right now. Why buy anywhere else?
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the South Jackson Gatsby girls starting the promotion for the Great Gatsby Gala that will be held at South Jackson March 19, 2016. Get your party hat on, folks. It's gonna be a ball. What about it, girls?
Here's to ya.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1963 at 80 degrees. The record low was in 1941 at 19 degrees. Average high on this day is 60 and the average low is 37. Tonight, look for partly cloudy weather with a low of around 41. Partly cloudy weather again in your forecast for Friday with a high of 65 and a low of 43, and a 48% chance of storms in your forecast for Saturday with a high of 56 and a low of 34. And that's our Newsleader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
And from all of us on Newsleader 6, wishes you and your families a wonderful weekend. Thank you.